Hello and welcome to AM Language. I'm just going to share the lesson online and we can begin. In this lesson, we are going to look at how you can write better English. And we're going to look at a few structures. So the time is 4 o'clock and I'm just going to share the lesson. So AM Language. Got 3 people already. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Up to 5 already. And share and okay, good. Okay, so the lesson is now shared. Hello, Sandra. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're well. Did you have a good morning? Did you enjoy your lesson? Nadia says hello. Hello, Nadia. Hello, Hario. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining. Okay, so we've got a good number of people already, so we can begin. This is a lesson for all levels, so don't worry if you are pre-intermediate, intermediate, upper intermediate, you are all welcome. Andres says hello. Hello, Andres. Alejandra says hi. Hello, Alejandra. Thank you very much for coming to your lesson this morning as well. So in this lesson, we're going to be looking, as I've said, we're going to be looking at how to write better English. Marcella says hello. Hello, Marcella. Good afternoon. Hello, Irina. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining. So, how to write better English. This is, we're going to look at some things. Now, I'm going to tackle this in terms of it doesn't matter what level you are, almost. The structure of what I'm going to talk about remains the same. So first of all, we need to know about the rules that we're going to use here. Now, the first rule that we need to make sure that we get right is our number one, our verb structures. So one of the things that is really important is making sure that we know the verb structure we need to use. So if we are writing in the past, we need to make sure that we remain focused, that we are keeping our verbs in the correct structure. Now, this can be a bit confusing because of the negatives, for example. It can be a bit confusing because we know we can use the present perfect, but we can also use the past simple. But it's really important to know about our verb structures. So, for example, one of the things that can make a really big difference that is related to our verb structures, something called time markers. Now, time markers dictate what type of verbs we are going to use. So, for instance, if I say last week, if I begin my sentence with last week or last night, we have to use the past verbs. We've got to use past verbs. Hello, Hario. Thank you very much for joining. We have to use our past verbs. We cannot say, for instance, last night I have been to Paris, for example. This is a no sentence. We cannot make this sentence because we've now used the time marker last night. So because I've used the time marker last night, I have to use something like the past simple. Last night I went, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's number one. Make sure your verbs are in the right tense. And second of all, think about your time markers. They're going to dictate what verbs you end up using. So that's number one. Number two, don't forget about the basics. So when we are writing, we can often, it shows if we are thinking in English or if we are thinking in our first language. And we can often see this in terms of when we see basic structures not correct. So, for example, let's say you are Spanish speaking. In Spanish, you can use a noun plus adjective, for example. This is in Spanish. Okay? Now, in English, we cannot do that. In English, it always has to be adjective plus noun. Okay? So, the person reading can see if you are thinking about your sentences in English or in your first language, such as Spanish. So that's the second thing. Think in English when you write. Think in English. And it's the same with speaking. If you think in English, your fluency will be better. Hello, Maria. Thank you very much for joining, and thank you for coming to your lesson in the morning. Okay, so we've got two things already. We've got your verb tense and your language markers, and now we have mentioned about word order. So that's the next thing, really. Number 3, word order. So important that we think about this. Now, the next one, and this one is linked to word order. Now, in order to write better, we need to improve our method of learning new words. And at the same time, it can help us with our grammar. Now, this is called, let's say, word linking. Okay, it's not the word I would use as a teacher, but let's use the word linking. Okay, when you learn a word, it's so important to make sure that you also learn the word that the word can link with. So, for instance, you learn the word money. Okay, what can a noun like money be linked to? In this case, make money, earn money. Again, you can see that it's linked to the verb. Make money, earn money. This is a very important aspect. When you learn a new word, learn the words that the word can be linked to. So that's another really important thing. Okay, so we've now got 4 things. Next, this is something called trail of thought. Okay, this is a question of how you start and finish. Trail of thought is, what is the beginning of my sentence? And how do I get to the end of my sentence? This is where you want to think about how long your sentence is. It's easy to write a lot, but then if the sentence is too long, it's very different. It's very difficult to follow and understand. So think about linking 2 basic sentences together with a linker. Do you understand what you've written? Okay, so let's say you are learning the present perfect. Let's say you are learning some new words, but you want to write a sentence. How can I link my ideas together? You break it down, nice and simple, such as, I have been to Chile, and I've been to Chile, and when I went, I really enjoyed it. Okay. And let's just look at that simple sentence. I've got a present perfect. Okay. And I used and to link. I used and to link. And what did I link it with? I linked it with a past simple. Why? Because I've linked an experience and my feeling of that experience. So if I think of the trail of thought, I am talking about an experience and what I felt. Okay? That's at a basic level. And this is really important. When you learn a new grammar structure, new word, think of how you can link it. And this is This is one of the best bits of advice I can give. When you learn a new grammar structure, learn what other grammar structures you can link to it, such as I can write a present perfect plus past simple. I can write a past simple plus past simple. I can write a past perfect plus past simple. This is how you build it. At a simple level, if we go with my example, I could have written, I have been to Chile, full stop. When I went, I really enjoyed it. How do I link the two sentences together? I use and as my linker. So make sure you learn linkers. The more linkers you know, the easier it is to improve your writing. It's easier to improve your grammar structures as well. So I have now gone through one or two. I've gone through about 5 key things that you guys need to know how to do when developing your language. So let's try and develop it together. We are going to concentrate on one of the hardest aspects. It's knowing what linker to use. Okay, so the way this activity is going to work is I'm going to write 2 individual sentences, and you guys need to tell me what linker we need. Okay? If you don't know the linker, I will then tell you the linker and I will give you examples. So if you like this activity, like the video. Let's begin. We'll start off easy and we'll develop it and make it more complicated as we go along. So okay, let's start off with this. Simple, past simple, okay? I was at the fish market. I bought some tuna. I bought some salmon. What linkers do we need? Your options. Now, I'm going to give you some options to help you, but you need to think carefully. You might only need one of the options. Okay, I'm going to give you 4 options. And, but, while, and because. And, but, while, and because. Okay? You maybe only need 1. Maybe you need 2. And, Yusuf. Okay, so I was at the fish market and I bought some tuna and some salmon. Yes, that would work. So yeah, the answer there would be and. So nice and easy, not too difficult. Okay, I'll wait a minute, see if any of you can try and write that all together. And then I'm going to develop it and I'm going to make the next sentence just a little bit harder. Okay. Because and. Ooh, Nadia, can you give me an example with the whole sentence, please? I want to see how you're using because. You might need to add more language if you're going to use because because means it's your reason for doing something. It's not an extra, it's just a reason. So that's something important to remember. Okay, let's see who else can come up with something. In the meantime, I'm going to write the next sentence. Okay, this one's going to be a little bit harder. Oh, before I finish, Marie has come in. I've been to Paris, and when it was my last birthday, I really saved in my memories. Ooh, okay, Maria, that's a really good effort. I was about to write something with a present perfect, so I'll just put out what I'm going to put, and then I will talk about your sentence, okay? Okay, so this is the next one, but in the meantime, let me see. So Maria and Marcella, I was buying bread while my husband was taking care our baby because the babysitter didn't come close. Care of, okay, Marcella, don't forget. Care of, care of, okay. Nadia has written, I was at the fish market because I bought some tuna and some salmon. Okay, I would say that's really good. The only thing is if we're going to use because, I feel you need to add more because just that's the reason. But you're saying that because I wanted to buy some tuna and salmon, for example. Don't forget, if you use because, you have to explain. You have to explain why. You use because you need to explain why. Because I needed some fish, because I wanted to buy some fish. You have to explain why. Now, uh, I've put out another one here. Have you ever been? Oh, no, let me rewrite this again because I just realized I made a mistake with what I posted. Okay, so have you ever been to Egypt? There's a conditional in here. So let me concentrate on Maria. Maria, you have written, I have been to Paris. And when it was my last birthday, I really said, okay, so this is what you want to write here, Maria. I can see what you're trying to write, but we need to make one or two changes to this, okay? I have been to Paris. And when I went, it was my birthday, or I have been to Paris and actually, I've been to Paris and when I went, it was, let's say, it was for my birthday. And get you make memories, by the way. And I made some great memories. Okay, it's a bit of a difficult one, but I like what you were trying there, Maria. So have a look at what I've done. Look how I've linked it together. Okay, I've been to memory Paris, and when I went, it was for my birthday, and I made some great memories. So for you, at your level, you need to think of and. Now, let's look at Alejandra. Alejandra, I went Maria's house and knew his son the last year, but I haven't seen during 2 years because I was travel. Okay, Alejandra, in terms of understanding what you want to say, yes, I can understand, but we need to make some changes. Okay, let's look at the changes. First of all, I went to Maria's house, and now here you talk about you knew his son. I think this is sounds more like a meeting, actually, and met his son last year. Last year, but I haven't seen during 2 years because okay. But now you need a linker, which is a bit, it's a little bit difficult. But since then, I haven't seen, but I haven't, here we go, but I haven't seen him. But I haven't seen him for 2 years. Okay. So, Alejandra, I went to Maria's house and met his son last year, but I haven't seen him for 2 years. No, that still doesn't quite make sense because of the timeline. I think one thing I would change, I'm going to change something. This is what I'm going to do. I went to Maria's house and met his son last year, but I haven't seen him since. That would be better. Okay. Okay, guys. Don't forget about this one. How do I link? I've got a present perfect and I have a first conditional. So how do I put these two sentences together? What linkers do I need? Sandra says, I told my friends I had decided to leave my house, my hometown. Good sentence. I have never been to Egypt, but in January I went to Budapest for my boyfriend's birthday and we really enjoyed it. Nadia, that is a fantastic sentence. There's nothing wrong with it. Well done. Very good. Excellent. So, how do you link this sentence though? Let's see. I have never been to Egypt. Don't forget, if you're talking about having been to a place, you need to. Been to Egypt because I decided to go to Asia first or instead. That's fine. Just don't forget been to Egypt, not been in Egypt. Irina, I have been in Egypt. I have been to Egypt in 2012 and I really enjoyed scuba diving. That's fine. Just don't forget, guys, been to. You've been to a place. It's I went to a place, I go to a place, I've been to a place, okay? You go to a place, went to a place, been to a place. Never forget that. Marisa, always with to in present perfect. It's not because of the present perfect. It's because of the action. When we are talking about movement, it's to. You go to a place, you went to a place, you been to a place. You only use in with the word like arrive. Like arrive, you arrive in a place, but you live in a place. So it's important to know the differences. You've got go to a place, went to a place, been to a place. But if you use the word arrive or live, then it's in. Arrive in a place, live in a place. And this is what I was talking about before. When you learn a new word, like a verb, make sure you learn the words you use with it, such as prepositions. Andrea says, I haven't been to Egypt because I lived far from it and it was expensive. Fine, that's a good sentence. Now I'm going to post this again. Can anyone link these two sentences together? Your options, and, or, but. How do you link a present perfect with a conditional sentence? How do you do it? I'm going to give you two options. It's either and or but. I have never been to Egypt. Nevertheless, I will go the next year on September. Oh, Jorge, very close. Nevertheless, I will go next year in September. Don't forget, when it comes to months, the preposition is in. In September. Sandra, I have been to Egypt and I really enjoyed the Red Sea. Oh, good sentence. Just don't forget you're talking about Red Sea, which is SEA. Nadia, I have never been to Egypt, but I would like to go next year. That's a good sentence. Okay, guys, you're doing really well here. I'm still waiting for someone to try and solve this problem. How do you link a present perfect with a conditional sentence? Can anyone tell me, how do I link it? Your options are either and or but. How do I write this sentence in the live chat? I have been to Egypt and I enjoyed it because it was my dream travel. Probably I would say my dream holiday rather than dream travel. And you don't need a comma after it. But other than that, Marcella, that's a good sentence. Okay, guys, you're doing really well. Still waiting. Can someone try and solve this problem for me? Present perfect. Okay, you've got a present perfect. present perfect plus something plus plus let's say plus a conditional. Okay, how do I make it? Okay, this is in a question form. Okay, can someone try and answer that for me? Sandra says, I have been to Paris last year, but it's raining every day. What's the past of rain? Because I can't make a present perfect and a past continuous like that. And I've got last year. So Sandra, you've got present perfect plus past time. I've been to Paris last year. I can't do that either. You need to make past simple because of the time maker. So you need a past simple plus past time marker plus a past simple. That's how you can try and rewrite your sentence like that. Nadia, present perfect but. So let's see. Have you ever been to Egypt? But if so, what did you like? Good try, Nadia. Try again. Not quite. So if it's not but, it's the other option I used. And if you'd like, have a go at trying to write the full sentence with the link. Try and write the full sentence with the link. Okay, guys, you're doing really well here. As soon as someone gets my present perfect and conditional one correct, and yes, Nadia, and is the correct answer. Nadia, can you write the full sentence for me, please? Can you write the full sentence for me? Halio, I have been to Egypt when I was studying in the university. I've been to Egypt when I was studying. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Egypt. Ah, you're missing a linker. Got Egypt, and I have been to Egypt, and it was when I was studying. So, Hario, try and rewrite your sentence with this, because that's what you're missing. Okay? Sandra says, I went to Paris last year, but it rained every day. Well done, Sandra. Excellent. Bravo. Nadia, have you ever been to Egypt? And if so, what did you like? Perfect. Well done. Everyone, I would like you to give Nadia, like the video. If I would like you to like the video because Nadia has got my question correct. She used and, so well done. So give the video a like for Nadia. Well done, Nadia. You got my puzzle correct. Well done. Right, let's continue. I'm going to come out with another problem, okay? And I'm going to use a continuous one here as well. Oh, Andrea has said, I was in Paris one day, but I was only 12. Ah, really, really close. Really close, Andrea. You want to say it was just for one day and you've used only. That's fine. What you need, but so I was in Paris for one day. I was in Paris for one day, but it was only for 12 hours. Okay. So, Andrea, really, really well done. Because of your level, that is a really, really good attempt at trying to create a good sentence. What I would say is just make those changes. Don't in this case, it's just prepositions, really. But really well done. I was impressed. So I'm going to write another sentence, another problem. Let's see how you guys can put the two together. So let's go for Okay. Let's try this one. I will be going to London next year. So here we've got a future continuous. Future continuous. Okay. Okay. Plus a linker. Plus I need to learn English. So here we then have a present simple plus another linker plus I can live with some friends. I can live with some friends plus a present simple. Okay. Let's see what you guys can do. Your options are because, but, and yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So you've got 3 options. Out of the 3 options, you can use 2. Out of the 3 options, you can use 2. I will be going to London next year because I need to learn English and I can live with some friends. Okay, Andres, that's your answer. Yisith has said, I will be going to London next year because I need to learn English and I can live with some friends. Nadia has said the same thing. Well done, guys. This was obviously very easy. I know you guys are intermediate and upper intermediate. I know we have some pre-intermediate students here, so I'd like to see them try and write it as well. But well done, guys. You've got the correct answer. You've got this one correct. So well done. Okay, right. Let's now try. I'm going to give another option because at the moment it's just been and, for instance, or because. So let's now have a look at this. Oh, Philippe. Okay, Philip, I will be going to London next year because I need to learn English, but I can live with some friends. Philippe, well done, and well done because I know your level as well. Victor, I'll be going to London next year because I need to learn English and I can live with some friends. Good, well done. Excellent. Alejandra, I will wait that this bad situation change for following study. Oh, okay. I see what you're going for here. I will wait for. So don't forget, wait for, guys. Wait for. Wait for. These are 2 words that always go together. Wait for. You wait for something. So I will wait for this bad situation to change. You could also use pass, actually. That's another option in this case. Pass. I will wait for this bad situation to change. Hear you then before I continue studying. Okay, so that's what you were going for there, Alejandra. That's what you were going for. Victor says, it's possible, then I can live with some friends. I wouldn't use then. I would just stick to the linker, and I can live with some friends, and I can live with some friends. Okay. Maria says, I will be going to Ibiza in the summer. I need to take a lot of pictures and party. I can study in a hostel with my friends. Okay, right. Let's take a look at that, Maria. You've done a lot of good things well there, but let's see what linkers you can use. Okay, so I'm going to use your sentence. I will be going to Ibiza in the summer. Okay, I need a linker here. I need to take a lot of pictures and party. Full stop. I can stay in a hostel with my friends. Okay, so we just need to think of one linker. So this is Maria's sentence. It's a really good sentence. I've broken it up into 2 sentences though, and we just need a linker. But can anyone tell me what the linker needs to be? Is this an and or is this an explanation? So can someone try and tell me what is the linker? What is the linker? It's a very hot day today, I have to say. It is a very hot day. Maria, because well done, Maria. Excellent. You answered your own question. Okay, guys, if you have not liked the video, like the video for Maria because she solved the problem herself. This was her own sentence, and she managed to solve the problem herself. So well done, Maria. Excellent work. So like the video for Maria. Okay, let's look at the next one. I'm going to go with a slightly different one. Okay, let's go with this. Okay. We've got this sentence. I caught my flight. The weather was bad. We need a linker that connects what am I writing? That connects two actions together. One may be positive and the other one is negative. Your options are as follows. Even though, but, and because. So I caught my flight. The weather was bad. Here, I'm linking a positive and a negative together. Irina, you've gone for even though. Now, it's true, I could use but, by the way, but that's not what I want to explain. I want to explain that the second option is a bad option, and I'm doing the first option, I'm doing the first action. The second action is bad. Now, Irina has gone for even though. Let's see what everyone else answers. Victor has gone for even though. I can tell you, you are correct. The answer is even though. So I am now going to give you guys the option. Can you try and write your own sentence with even though for me? Let's see who can create their own sentences with even though. Remember, you need a positive sentence plus even though plus a negative sentence. Negative sentence. Okay, now the important thing here is we are using even though because we are in some ways a bit surprised. The surprised action 2 still happens. Okay, so Sandra says, I will be going to Malta next year to improve my English in the AM school. Oh, at AM school. That's all you need there, at AM school. Because this year I had to broke up early because of the coronavirus. Very close there, Sandra. Just say English at AM school, because this year I had to break up early, break up, because you've got had to break up early because of the coronavirus. Okay, I'll just correct that for you. It's a good attempt though. So here, don't forget here we can just change that to AM language, because this year I had to break up early because of the coronavirus situation. Good, well done. Next one. Marcella, I caught my flight before the weather was bad. Yes, you can say that, Marcella. That does make sense. It has a different meaning to the one that I'm going for, but it does make sense. Victor, I decided to continue living in Malta, even though the future situation is uncertain. Good. I decided to continue. I decided to continue living in Malta, even though the future situation is uncertain. Yeah, Victor, I think that's good. If I were to develop your sentence, I would just say, don't forget, decided to, and even though the future, I would say, looks uncertain. You can shorten that sentence to that, for example. Jorge, I called my friend even though my cell was running off. Ooh, cell phone or mobile phone was running low on battery. That's what you wanted to say. Good attempt, though. Andres, I am learning a lot of new things, even though I can't go outside. Andres, very good sentence. Well done. That's a good one, actually. So well done, everyone. Good. Okay, guys, we're coming to the end. Let's see if anyone else wants to say anything else. So, guys, if you have commented in this section today in the live chat, please give yourself a like by liking the video. I want to thank all of you who have participated in the live chat section. You've all done really well. I know all of you are different levels. We have some elementary students here who have done really well, some pre-intermediate, intermediate, and upper intermediate. So really well done to all of you. You've done a fantastic job. So congratulate yourselves and like the video for yourselves. I think you've done a great job. For those of you who are watching but didn't write in the live chat, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming and watching and like the video, and please share as well. Excellent, guys. I think you've all done really well. Hario, I want to brush up my English in Malta, even though I can't go to AM language. You don't need the AM language, just AM language, but that's a really good sentence. Yiseth says, thank you. Thank you, Yiseth, for joining and participating. Jorge as well. Thank you for joining. So excellent, guys. Farter says, hi, before you leave, could I ask you how to pronounce the word utterly? Thanks a lot. I know it's off top. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay. The first part is an ut. Okay, ut. Let me write it like this. Lee. Okay. Think of it like that. Utterly. Think of it like that. The stress is on the ut. Okay. Utterly. Marcella says, I want to go back to my country, even though the virus is a problem. Even though the virus is a problem. Even though the virus is a problem. No, you do not. Utterly. No, you don't need to pronounce the R. Farter. You don't need to pronounce the R. It's just utterly. You don't need to say utterly. I mean, maybe American English, you might say the R, but we wouldn't say the R in the UK English, just utterly. Hadia says, thank you. Thank you very much, Hadia, for joining. Maria also says, thank you. Thank you, Maria. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow in our Zoom lesson as well. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Have a really good evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock, the same time, with another video. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. And for those of you who are in my lessons in the morning in Zoom, in my Zoom lessons, thank you very much as well. Cheers, guys. Have a great evening, and thank you for watching the video and participating. Like the video and share, and I will see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Cheers.